few months ago, I realised that the holidays are coming, and that even though people take time off at certain times of the year, theists never take a break from saying stupid things. So I put a post out asking you to get involved. And because I'm lazy, I'm taking time off and getting others to do the work for me. Yay, capitalism! So here are some of you responding to theists saying stupid things. Hello, I'm the Skeptic, the British floating circle that watches people make extraordinary claims, and then I explain why I don't accept what they're saying. Thanks, Eli, for the capitalism joke there. I really am just taking advantage of others now, aren't I? Theists say a lot of stupid things, and it's up to us mere mortals to tell them why it's stupid. A few of you got involved and did your own takedown of theist stupidity, and here they all are in one place. Don't forget to check out the description to see where each of these folks usually hang out, and give them a subscribe, and bestow leaves upon them from Lisa the Rainbow Giraffe, leave be upon her. But before we get into that, if this isn't your first Skeptic video, hit the like, the subscribe and the bell, and let the algorithm get into it too. And a massive thank you to all the patrons and channel members who have been incredible over the last few years. Your support means everything, and I will do all I can to promise you a place in the afterlife jungle with the one true rainbow deity, Lisa the Rainbow Giraffe, who bestows leaves upon you all. More hen. Take it away, you lot.
Oh, hi, excuse me, sir. Would you be interested in answering some questions about your God for some Chick-fil-A gift cards?
Oh, that's great. Let me see if I can prove God's existence to you in about 30 seconds, okay?
Cool. We're doing a video about the problem of evil. Would you say that you worship a triomni God? You know, a God that's all-loving, all-powerful, and all-knowing?
Every building has a builder. Every painting is proof of a painter. You'd never be so foolish to say the painting painted itself. The painting is evidence of the painter.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. Since you believe that your God created everything, that means he must be maximally powerful to do so and sustain all things. But my sister told me that you Christians use loaded language like creation just to shoehorn in your creator. What do you think about that?
My agenda is not to convince her that God exists. She already knows that. God's given light to every single person. My agenda is to show her her need of God's forgiveness.
Your agenda? Anyways, I know the Apostle Paul says that all people are without excuse to know that God exists, but it's the other way around. All people are born atheists and they have to be taught about the various gods they believe in.
How do you know that? Because there's 8 billion people on the earth. You just said you know what every person knows and doesn't know when you said nobody knows. All you can say is that you don't know, and that's a big difference from the 8 billion people, because someone out there might know.
Or not know. That's exactly my point with the Apostle Paul, and what you just said about my sister. But we're getting off topic. Your God. Is he all-knowing as well?
Do you know that God knows how many hairs are on your head? Did you know that? Every single one is known by God. In fact, he knows intimately the middle atom that makes up your eyeball, because he made it.
Okay, I'll take that as a yes. So how about omnibenevolence? Is your God all good?
Yeah, if there's a criminal who's done a heinous crime, there must be punishment given by the judge. He must say, look, you raped and killed 3 young girls. You're going to the electric chair. You've earned this. You deserve this. This is what you've got coming to you according to justice.
Yeah, I think that'd be fair.
What do you think of a judge who raped 3 young girls, teenage girls, and then cut their throats?
Well, I think the judge should be held to the same, if not a higher standard, to the criminal in the first example. But I don't see how this is demonstrating that your God is all good, especially considering all the killings he committed and commanded in the Bible.
We just trust him because all his judgments are righteous and true altogether. Everything he does is right.
Wait, what about all that talk that you can know a good tree by the fruit it bears?
Hey, never mind.
Yep, never mind indeed.
When someone asks you, how do you know that God exists? Here's what I think you ought to say.
Which one?
I know God exists because I believe in the law of cause and effect.
Believes in it, doesn't understand it. Good job.
I believe that every effect must have a cause. The past several decades have been one failed alternative theory after another trying to explain in a naturalistic way how the universe came into existence out of nothing.
As opposed to your God coming into existence out of nothing. But hey, who needs reason, logic, and evidence when you have magic? on your side.
Aristotle had a good definition of nothing. He said, nothing is what rocks dream about. The evidence everyone seems to agree with, at least most scientists agree, yes, space-time and matter had a beginning out of nothing.
There is no self-respecting scientist on the planet who says that space-time and matter had a beginning out of nothing. Because they understand that there is a difference between seeming nothingness and absolute nothingness.
The only question is, what could have caused that?
Random chance.
It's just mind-boggling to think how fine-tuned the universe is in the beginning.
You know, this is the great thing about the universe, is that the universe is under zero obligation to make sense to me, to make sense to you, to make sense to anybody else.
God created the heavens and the earth. That's what the evidence shows. That's why a guy like Jastrow, who's not a Bible believer, can say the biblical view of the origin of the universe appears to be correct.
Again, magic is not evidence. And I don't know who this Jastrow person is, but I'm willing to bet that what you claim he said, he did not say. Because if there's one thing evangelical Christians are very, very, very good at, it is misquoting people and then claiming they said things they never said.
Hi, this is AJ from Ways to Human. Today I am reviewing a video of a silly theistic claim. Let's watch.
So I was addicted to pornography and all this. And I remember there was a season where I decided that I wasn't going to sleep with my girlfriend or ex-girlfriend. I wasn't going to look at things. And I remember one night I had this dream. And
okay, this part right here, this is a perfect example of how purity culture harms men too. I'm willing to bet that he didn't really watch porn more than the average man, but he was probably convinced of it by a church leader. Yet, this obsession with purity and the fear that he was watching too much porn led him to feel guilt and not wanting to sleep in the same room as his girlfriend so that he wouldn't be exposed to her body. That is incredibly harmful.
And in the dream, there was this girl, and she came to me in the dream, and she was pulling my hand, trying to get me to sleep with her. I ended up yanking my arm, and I said no. And as soon as I said no and pulled away from her, I woke up. And I remember seeing this 9-foot dark figure in my room. I really saw it, and it was there. And at first, I thought it was like my dad standing on the couch in the 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what are you doing? But then I went to say something, and I couldn't speak, and I couldn't move. And right then and there, I was like, this is a demonic encounter. And the best way I could explain it, it looked like the Grim Reaper. And it screamed at me, and then it vanished. I just remember thinking, like, the devil is so ticked off that I came back to Jesus. And that was the dumbest thing that the devil ever did, was allow me to see a demon, because it just made me crazier for Jesus. So I was
crazier for Jesus. Okay, let's break this up. While you sleep, your body goes through your memories in order to make them either permanent or throw them away. This is called memory consolidation. And sometimes memories get mixed up, right? You get places from your childhood, people who are no longer in your life, they may come up, and they all get mixed up in this bizarre mind soup that we call dreams. In this guy's case, what he calls a demon is so easily explained by neuroscience. He is experiencing sleep paralysis, right? When you fall asleep, your brain goes into rapid eye movement stage, also known as REM sleep. And what happens during that time is that your body is paralyzed because your brain paralyzes your muscles, right? So that you don't act out your dreams. If this wasn't done, then you will be sleepwalking all the time. The problem is sometimes your brain begins to wake up before your body is completely out of REM sleep. So you're half awake. Your body is still asleep. So you can't move. But there is an extra step to this. During this time, it's very, very common that because your brain isn't fully awake either, it is still dreaming. So you can experience extremely realistic hallucinations. The whole experience can be terrifying, but do not fear. It is not a supernatural experience. They are not real demons. You can call it a brain fart. Now, that, folks, is why it's incredibly important to learn how this fancy tool that we have, right here between our ears actually works. Okay? If you enjoy brain science, check out my channel.
Best questions to ask an atheist? What do you mean by atheism?
The rejection of the claim that there is a God.
When did you become an atheist?
Difficult to pinpoint exactly, but I'd say about when I was 14.
Did you ever believe in God?
Again, kind of difficult to say because I don't really remember what I believed and didn't believe as a child, but probably yes.
What's your experience with Christians?
Most Christians I've met are very lovely people, including my parents, for example.
What, if anything, might cause you to reconsider your beliefs?
I'm constantly reconsidering my beliefs, as everyone should.
Those are the kinds of questions I like to begin with. Now, eventually, I want to get to the big question. Why is there something rather than nothing?
Nothing can't have properties, and that includes the property of being, so there can't be nothing.
Where did life come from?
From non-life.
The origin of consciousness?
Evolution, probably.
Objective moral values and duties?
Don't exist.
And who is Jesus?
Depending on what exactly you're referring to, either an ancient preacher or a mythological figure. Or both.
But to me, those questions are often downstream from first getting to know the person and hearing their story.
What a story, Mark.
Hey everyone, I'm Eli from Eli Explains Stuff. You can find me at The Prophet of Ire, where I explain stuff. But today, I'm going to do a video reaction. I haven't done one of these before. It's my first time, so be gentle. I have been talking to a lot of people online recently about Christian persecution. And to be clear, I mean the persecution of Christians, not the persecution by Christians. One of them exists. And wouldn't you know it, earlier on my TikTok, I came across a video that showed me an example of just such persecution. We're just going to watch the beginning. There's not a lot that we need to really see here. And then he just like waves his Bible around and, has different Bible stuff. Here's what I like to talk about this here at the beginning. This loss of 5,000 followers when he say you love Jesus online. Now, not all, but most of Extra Josh's content is faith-based. He's a British immigrant living in the United States, so some of his content is about that experience, but a lot of it is about being a Christian. In fact, if you go to his most viewed videos, most of them mention God, starting on the top left. The fourth one, that's his first video, and it has suspiciously 2 million views, but the two that we're talking about today are the one that we just watched, which is the second row, third from the left, and the one to the left of that, this video right here, where Josh is praying over this commenter who said, "I just seen you're Christian. Unfollowed. I'm out." These are clearly Josh's attempts to demonstrate that Christians in the United States are persecuted, right? Because, I said I'm a Christian and they follow me. If all of your content is religious, how are you losing followers by being religious? Isn't that why people are following you? But then I came across this comment and I said, wow, that seems awfully manufactured. So I went to the page that left the comment and it looks like this. Now, am I saying that Extra Josh manufactured this profile so he could manufacture this comment, so he could manufacture this video for views? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Do I have any, concrete evidence of that?
No. The reason I think that is because most of his content is faith-based, and I don't understand how 5,000 people could be following him and not know that he's a Christian. Because out of the 215 videos that he has, he made it through 27 of them before he ever mentioned God. And that one was the earliest video other than his first one here, which again is really suspicious. Ignoring that, everything up until his Hey, by the way, I love God video have like 16,000, maybe 30,000. For me, 30,000 is nothing to sneeze at. But once he says, hey, by the way, I love God and America and I'm British, I have this accent and I'm good looking and I'm Christian and I love America and I'm an immigrant and I can say these like Republican things that'll make you all like me for views. But he's losing followers. He's persecuted because he lost 5,000 followers when he says he loves Jesus. The thing is that Christians love to be persecuted. They want you to think that they hate it, but they actually love it. And the reason they love it is because it's not actually happening. They just need you to believe that it is so that they feel justified in doing all the shit that they do. But there's nowhere in the world where Christianity is the only banned religion. There's nowhere in the world where only Christians are being harmed. And there's nowhere in the world where they're being harmed because they are Christians. The fact that the Christians are the only ones that you care about does not mean that Christians are being persecuted. It just means you're an asshole. Well, there it is. We got through my first reaction video together. Not unlike another one of my firsts, it was short and uncomfortable physically and took place on camera for a British man on the internet that didn't show his face. Anyway, thanks for watching. Check me out on YouTube or TikTok as The Prophet of Ire. Do good things and learn a lot.
There you have it. It's not just me that thinks theists say stupid things. What a great way to feel like we're not alone in this crazy world of believers. Thank you to all those wonderful folks who did a great job. Go and check them all out and bestow leaves upon them all. Their links are in the description. There will be more opportunities for this again coming up soon, so get ready for some more chances to do my work for me. But maybe one of these theists had something that persuaded you, and now you're convinced of supernatural things. Let me know in the section below. I'm going to skeptic this as way too much stupidity for just me to deal with. A big thank you to this month's top level ticks on Patreon: Dark Ether Piao, Tamo, The Barely Bearable Atheist, George, Godless Granny, Addy Rockhart, The Enixes, Jakari, Elizabeth, Whiskey Tech Fred, Rick and Ray, as well as all the $3 base ticks and channel members. You can become a supporter on Patreon too at patreon.com/theskeptic. The link is in the description, along with links to all my other socials, or you can become a channel member by hitting the join button below this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. From me, The Skeptic, stay safe, keep thinking logically, and ask questions. Skepticism is the first step towards truth. See you next Saturday.